What's up, guys? Welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you a Final Fantasy XIV video, and this is the monk's perspective on Alexander's Savage Floor 10. So this will give you tips and tricks as a monk player on this fight. So the fight is fairly simple. There are a few mechanics where you can take advantage of the mechanics, of course, to maximize your DPS. The first mechanic is, of course, the single charge. Now, there are two variants, as you can see here. This is the in first, then out. For the in, you just have to stack together, and he will do the trap next. And of course, what you have to do is maximize your melee DPS range. This way, you won't get hit by the tank's explosion. The second variant is basically the opposite, where out being first. So the idea is, of course, to do the opposite. Make sure you are out first, and also make sure you are in max melee range so you don't get hit by the bomb. And of course, you stack in. You don't necessarily have to be behind the boss, but if your group wants you to, you can do that. It just means that you're gonna miss positionals, but of course you can be on the side and you will still soak up the damage. After the first mechanic, it's basically going back to your DPS roots and just keep on DPSing. The second basic mechanic is basically the one that you have to be aware of. You don't have to worry about the tank busters and such like that. I'm not gonna go through that, but the next mechanic that you will need to work on is the traps. So basically, the boss will hit one of the traps, and you just have to make sure that you are pretty close to the main target. This way that you will be able to maximize your DPS once he jumps back to that target. And of course, the next one is don't move and don't do anything, and then stack in for the single charge. DPSing the ad is essential, and of course you can leave your dots on both the boss and the ad. It's ideally nice if you can use your elixir field between the ad and the boss. This makes sure you maximize your DPS at least even a little bit. The next mechanic you will have to worry about is the spike bowl dropping down, and of course dodging appropriately. Now normally our main tank will drag the boss to the middle safe area. This way I can continue DPSing the boss. But if your tank does it another way, make sure you ask them where he's going to drag it so you can be in the same position. You don't necessarily need to hit all your positionals, but this way, at least you're damaging the boss even if you don't hit your positional. Next is the double charge, which has two variants again, either in first or out. It doesn't matter which one. If you don't have shoulder tackle handy, make sure you charge up that chakra, but if you do, just shoulder tackle back into the boss and continue DPSing. The next mechanic is the another ad phase, which is the rolling ad. Basically, you just DPS as much as you can. You do need to back off every now and then. I especially back off when I see the cast bar on the R and O, and that's my I guess my trigger to move away. Remember, I still have a little bit of latency, so if you are not experiencing any latency, you can probably push this a little bit further. But if you're like me and who has latency problems at times, then it's best to move out of the way. Another good thing is probably if your healers can put shields on you as well. This makes sure you don't get pushed back, and it's handy to have shoulder tackle every now and then. Now, the shoulder tackle won't always be up for this, and you don't have to worry about actually going over the ad, because those flames will stop you from actually going to the ad. I guess you could say that that you won't get any burn debuff if you are too close to the ad. I have tried moving, right at the ad, and it won't let you move any further, at least in front of the ad. So you can just keep DPSing, not to worry about that. As you guys can see, I actually lost Grease Lightning there, but no problem. Perfect balance is usually up by then. I don't normally lose perfect balance in that particular positions, but I think just the timing was just a bit off. In one of these videos, we actually had a replacement, so DPS wasn't what it used to be. And let's just get back on that mechanic, because I would like to explain that in detail. So this mechanic involves 3 charges, which is why it's called triple charge. There are 2 different variants to this as well. In this case, it's out, spread, and then in. So what I normally do is I go out, but on the spread, I actually move back to the boss and make sure that my Grease Lightning is up, because most of the time, the tank is actually spreading out as well, in our case anyway. So if it's like that for you as well, you have that chance to actually go back there even at the spread. Even if the tank is there, if you're in max melee range, you shouldn't have any problem refreshing your Grease Lightning. And of course, when you're going out, make sure you charge up your chakra as well. Now, let's take a quick look at the other variant for the triple charge, which is in, out, then in. This will be pretty quick, so I'll let the video run at normal pace. So in this case, it's in first, continue DPSing, and then you have to go out. Usually I do wait for the last minute before I go out. And of course, if you have shoulder tackle, you are welcome to use that. Again, the next set of mechanics that you do have to worry about is again another ad phase. In this case, I normally leave my dots on the boss and then go to the ad. And this way, I can maximize my DPS while my dots are taking on the boss. I'm attacking the ad, and of course, eventually when the ad dies and you trigger the trap, then you're on your way back to the boss and refresh all your dots again. The next set of mechanics is basically where you have to trigger, well, someone will have to trigger the spike traps to keep you still. I normally put myself in a position where I will hit all my positionals, or I guess maximize my positionals at best. Sometimes I will be behind the boss. Even though you are at the wall, that is still considered behind the boss. Now, if you need to refresh Dragon Kick and your Twin Snakes, then I go on the side. It just depends on where you are at your combo. Now, the next set of mechanics again is the chainsaws, and this is pretty much simple. All you have to do is keep DPSing the boss and watch out for that single charge. Just have to move back, wait a little bit, charge your chakra. I actually made a mistake here where I went a little bit too far, but I had shoulder tackle anyway, so that was fine. Just needed a little bit more healing, that's all. But you get the point. The next set of mechanics involves 2 traps being activated by the boss. The first one is, of course, the ice trap, then the second one being the big ball spike. Now, if your tank is actually tanking it close to where the ice trap is, you can actually get your combos in while he's setting up the traps. It is very much possible to do that. And of course, you know that he will jump to the spike trap next, so you can position yourself for that. The next mechanic here is, of course, the ads. Watch out for the chainsaws. I nearly got hit there, but we managed to destroy the ads there. You don't normally need to help on the ads there, but it's nice if you are down on DPS wise. Of course, you can use your AoE if you want to be more safe, because sometimes the trap actually activates quite a few times. Now the next mechanic involves the triple charge again, so just do the way you did it before, like I said earlier. And that's pretty much it. That's covered every single mechanic that the boss does. If your DPS is a little bit slow, then he will repeat the same mechanics over and over again until he gets to the enrage point. This, like I said earlier, this was done with a replacement. We normally have our summoner, and the bard here, I think it was his first time to clear, so he did have enrage experience, but it looks like he had less experience than that. But we managed to beat it, even though he was down most of the time, and you know, it's no biggie for us. We managed to beat it anyway, so that's the main thing. Make sure you get that drops well. And I think that's it for this video anyway. I've covered all the things that I know that can maximize our DPS as a monk. If you do have any queries, you're welcome to leave a comment below. And if you think I missed something, well, go ahead and leave a comment below as well, and I will try and add it to the list of things that we need to work out for. I can always leave an annotation here and there, and of course I will give you credit for it. And of course I will post this in the official forums for us monks, which I am the one looking after. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. This is Munchkins logging off. I'll see you guys in the next level. Congratulations on your maximizing DPS as a monk in A10S.